the people that I was around, you have to remember this was being filmed in New York. And the people that I'm around, these are people that are associated with Haitian Jack. These are people that knew the hustler Jay-Z when Jay-Z was actually hustling. You understand, with that Maryland trips and all that, the type of people that raised me and my older, you know, family members. And Babs has similar family members too, because some of the people who were incarcerated, my older cousins that I was incarcerated, they were incarcerated with Babs people. You understand? So they would talk about us, you know, upstate. But these type of people that do real works in the street, they would pull up and pick me up. So we talking about Escalades pulling up, G-Wagons pulling up to the making of the band house, new Lexuses, and all of that at a time when the band didn't even get a check yet. Like, we didn't even have a check. You know what I'm saying? The Don's rolling in with rollies and all of that. And I know that Sean, at that time, Sean had to see it. Now that I'm older, I realize Sean was watching all of this. Like, this nigga Dylan, like, you know, like, that's who he around. Okay, I see you, Playboy. I see you. You know, I already know how that was going. Now I know.
What's going on? Welcome back to Doc TV, man. If y'all the first time coming in to the channel, thank you for the support. Please hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. It'll help out a lot. You know, you're on Doc TV, man. I sit here, I kind of go around the internet a little bit, man. I be scrounging around looking for stuff. You know what I mean? Like, and this is something that ties into, you know, my younger youth. You know what I mean? The whole Diddy, Suge, Pac, Biggie, East Coast, West Coast type deal, whatever. And this guy right here, Dylan, is not old enough to be part of the original like generation of that, but he was part of the story, being part of Bad Boy with the Making the Band reality show. For those that don't know, because there's a possibility that people don't know, he's Dylan. He's he will explain it, but he's kind of a like a, they wanted him to be in a kind of a reggae soca kind of, I don't know, calypso lane. I don't know, kind of like a Caribbean lane, even though he came in as like kind of a rapper. A New York dude from the islands, West Indian, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to him. Dylan. He's also famous for on Dave Chappelle's show when they did that skit and they said, who was the best top 5 rappers? And Dylan said Dylan, and Dylan. You know, that's the big one. So I found it's pretty interesting because, first of all, let's go to what he just talked about. You know what I mean? He's that may have happened how it happened, but I think he put a little 10 on it. You know what I'm saying? He may have know some folks. You know some folks, but you know, we call it jousting. Make a 10 look like 1,000. You know what I'm saying? So let's go.
But there was times like it wasn't a happy place for me. It wasn't a happy place. Another thing I gotta address though, and I have to address this, the end of Making of the Band, because this is where the end of Making of the Band leads to my death row days with the row, with Suge Knight. Appearances of me after me coming out with so many albums without anyone knowing, being signed to Akon's distribution, Con Live, without how many people not knowing. This goes into my album being released in 2018, being considered for a Grammy, Pain to Power being released on VP Records, being considered for a Grammy, and you still not knowing.
All right, y'all. So respectfully, I'm not knowing. I didn't know he was part of the row. I didn't know after, you know, I know all of the Bad Boy kind of Making the Band members, even J26, the females, all that. They all kind of went on and did their own thing. That seems like what all the Bad Boy artists did like back in the day. But of course, he's gonna go on and do his own thing. But I didn't know he was with the row. I remember them days. I remember he was with the row. And then he uses words like considered for a Grammy. Now my man is West Indian. Shout out to him. But is he talking about? Is he talking about like what's the word? Nominated? Nominated? Is that nominated, or is it like just saying they thought of me to nominate me or whatever it is? And what did you get nominated for? It was like a song, but did you do the song? Did you produce it? What, you know? But yeah, he cooking. He just started. He cooking. Let's go.
Band reuniting on my EP 1:11 p.m. that came out in 2021 without you knowing. You know, I must say I respect when Sean say he gonna do something, he do something. You know, I remember beefing with Sean and we made peace after that. But I remember beefing with Sean and he said, you know what I'm gonna do? Because I had real beef, real war with Sean. Not because he's incarcerated, like some of you. You see, there's a difference. There's a difference between us. Some of you, you know what we're gonna call this? We're gonna call this interview common sense. 1 + 1 = 2. That's what we're gonna call the interview. 1 + 1 = 2. I'm a man, I'm simple. I'm very simple. I'm a man that feels like this. If I have a problem with you and you've done something immoral, disgusting, negative, or disrespectful to me or around me, I address it at that time. I am not waiting 10 years, 20 years, or when you get incarcerated to come out and say, hey, you know what he did back in the days.
You know what I'm saying? The boy cooking with hot grease, man. You know what I'm saying? Let him cook a little bit. You know what I'm saying? He's talking about Diddy, you know. Oh, I'm sorry. Shout out to Art of Dialogue podcast, which he's on right now. He's calling out another one of his hosts that gets on there and talks about stuff that happened in the past a lot. Like he was around a lot of stuff. But I never hear him talk about how he intervened, how he made it right. What he's doing now to make it right is speaking out about it prior to the trial, like way prior. But let's go.
Y'all need to stop the foolery. 1 + 1 = 2. I'm a simple man. It's either we have maybe got too accustomed to cowards living and doing this internet thing. Again, Tupac's spirit is in the building, and I ain't Tupac, but the spirit of realness is here. Where I come from, in my island, West Indian people, or my block in Long Island or Brooklyn, East Flatbush, 50s, if you have a problem with somebody, you came back to the block, I said, yo, so-and-so did something to me. I'm gonna say, then what did you do? And where is he now? Why is it that everybody and their mother have something to say 20 years later or now that the man is incarcerated? I'm not beef with no man in jail. Y'all really did this. And I blame you, mighty no man. You're not getting away. You're not getting away. Because I blame you because you are giving these people a platform to talk about stories that they should have handled then. Your boy Gene, respect to Gene. He is so entertaining. Gene, oh Gene, you are 7 foot tall and 300 pounds. Gene, why is it every week you have a new story about what they did, but didn't have a story about what you did that day? I have stories of what I did that day. That's why you didn't hear from me for 20 fucking years. And guess what? I have my integrity to this day.
You see? It is what I tell you. You see, man, they talking about Gene Deal, man. Gene Deal just in the mix. I give it to him. He's been saying it for years about the stuff about Diddy, but what was it? Was it a conscious thing? Does anybody know? Say in the comments. Is our dialogue know? Is it just,
these constant interviews over and over and over, bringing up the same stuff. Nothing gets done. Now the feds are involved. Gene Deal looking like a prophet or something to some people. Now you got Dylan in the mix, and he's like, I feel him. Get down where you mad at. Why you ain't doing this 20, 15, 20 years ago? Goes to a lot of these people, man. A lot of these people turn their head to some of this stuff. A lot of stuff on a daily basis. Get down where you mad at.
Let's go examples. Today is called common sense. 1 + 1 is what? 2. Let's say, because I was thinking about this, and these shades from Can't Relate, I want to put them on and support, but the sweater's here. Anyway, let's say you at Diddy crib and you wake up. Let's say, allegedly, you wake up and you feel like your body been violated. You think your body been brutalized. You feeling it's kind of oily. Something is wrong. You waking up, nobody there. You in the bedroom by yourself. You like, oh, something happened to me. I was drugged. You in the house. You know it's a kitchen? You mean to tell me there's a kitchen? You know what's in a kitchen?
A knife.
Wait. All right. You know what is longer knife? You know what is hot oil? Hot oil? You know what I'm talking about? You know what is there's hot oil. You could boil some water. You got a knife. You mean to tell me that you got drugged and got your body violated and brutalized in a house with a kitchen, and you did nothing but gotta tell me 15 years later, when the man is incarcerated? I don't believe you. I don't believe you. I don't believe you. I don't believe you. I don't believe none of you. Because, and let's keep it real. These are black people we're talking about, people of color, brown people, right? So you don't have a hothead cousin? You know every black person got a hothead cousin? You know every one of us got that headless cousin or that headless person on the block like, yo, if they with you, just call me. Everybody has a big brother or a crazy cousin or somebody on the block that you can go to and say, hey, everybody has this. And you telling me that not only did you not do it yourself, but you couldn't tell the headless cousin that with the big brother figure, the goon that's on your block, everybody got a goon. And you couldn't tell the goon to go handle that. I don't believe you. I don't believe you. Again, you haven't heard from me. The majority of the people, the larger demographic of your platform, knows who Dylan is. But a lot of them don't know half the works that I just mentioned. And I'm okay with that. You know why? I have my integrity. They didn't do what I did. I was at Hot 97 with K Slay. I was there back in the day saying, Diddy, come up to the station so I can spit in your face. I was the one that said, let's shoot the fair one. I don't like how you edited the show. I'm the one that got the call from Harv Pierre. Bless up Harv Pierre. And Harv Pierre said, you sure you want this? And I said, yeah. I said, Harv, I love you. But he disrespected by the editing. He made it look like he kicked me out the house. And he did. I'd never seen him. I was picked up by my cousin b.i.g. You edited that bad. And I was pissed. I'm young. You have to remember we kids. And I wasn't taking that kind of you mud. So I'm like, all right, let's go. It's on and cracking, and it's time for war at this time. See, you guys say at this time because then the puss was like Vlad and them, and they're gonna start taking shots from Art and doing stuff. like they did before. Because they love the negative side. Like, oh, look, he's beefing with Diddy. How am I beefing with Diddy when Diddy texted me before he went to jail? We'll talk about it. Anyway, I was the one that went to war. Yeah, like it was actual war. And Sean told me, Mr. Sean Combs, brother Sean said, if you beef with me, I'm gonna tell you what I'm gonna do. I'm not gonna say nothing. I'm not gonna respond. I'm not gonna say a word. And he said that you're gonna have a one or two interviews, and you're gonna be hot for a second, and then you're gonna fizzle away. You're gonna just fizzle away and disappear. Because no one's gonna want to work with you. And sure enough, I came out with so much music, so much work. I was like, the only person that's gonna rock with me is Suge. And that the Suge story, there's 3 chapters to it. So I don't even know where to begin because I was signing to the Row. And I remember saying, and this was the Row. Corrupt was there, Crooked Eye was there, all the family at that time. And I was signing to the Row. And me and Suge, I spent a month over there. And Suge was ready with the contract. I remember Crooked Eye like, yo, you're gonna get $50,000, a death row chain, and a car. I said, boy, that's more than I got at Bad Boy. I said, so let's go. I said, I'm happy for this. I'm very happy for this. And, you know, me and Suge was in the office at this time, I remember, and even that, blessed love to Suge, you know what I'm saying? He showed a lot of love. I remember being amazed that I had his number because at that time, you didn't have the CEO's phone number. You couldn't have, Sean Combs' number direct. You had to go through assistants and all that. The same assistants that's snitching on you and going to court and talking crazy about you, right? Right. Those. The ones that were guarding the gates and didn't want me to get any kind of food because y'all so bad boy. And now look at y'all. There's so many levels to this. There's so many levels. But Suge, the crazy part is, before the band started, I told you I was DJing. And while I'm DJing, I came out with a CD called Calm Before the Storm. I'm not going to stay here too long. But I sent my demo to a few places. I sent it to Jive, I sent it to J Records, I sent it to Death Row. When I got chose for Making of the Band, before it even aired, while we're filming Making of the Band, I called my mom on the phone. Now, the MTV phone was recorded. And I called Mom. I said, Mom, what's going on? And Mom's like, you have a a phone call from them people in the West Coast, you know. I don't want to say it over the phone. And I'm like, yeah. Suge was calling. Cedric and Suge and the family at the Row at the time was calling while I was on Making of the Band. So I left the house again. I left the house and I went on the train and I took the train home and I was just like, yo, and I called, we organized a call and Suge called me. And I was like, that was the first time we spoke. And I was like, yo, I'll go on. He was like, yo, what's going on, man? I said, yo, you ain't gonna believe me when I tell you this. He was like, what? He's, I'm ready to sign you. This is before it's even aired. Suge was ready to sign me before it even aired. And here's the crazier part, because I have a lot to say. Before Suge, the first person that wanted to sign me is E-Double, Eric Sermon. Eric Sermon and Def Squad was the first person to say, I respect your talent, I see what you're doing. Because the music at that time, what I was cooking up and giving to the people was hip hop, but with patois, you know? See, people are like, well, where's his accent and is he Jamaican and is he this and he's that and a third? We came up from a school of selectors in New York City. And no matter what country you were from, whether it was Trinidad or Grenada, you sounded Jamaican as a dancehall artist. Moving forward, when I got on Making of the Band, people from Bad Boy and my inner team, people that were part of the team at the time. So Bad Boy team and my team and a publicist were telling me, listen, anytime you get in front of that TV, talk pure Jamaican. Do not talk English. And I'm like, why? Why do y'all want me to do this? And they said the reason why, because it's a super group. You have these kids coming from different locations and you have to represent in a major way. So you have Chop talking from New Orleans. You have Babs being Brooklyn. You can't have two people talking Brooklyn. You already are from the West Indies. Yeah, we know you plant corn already. Yeah, we know you really from there. You went to Hillsbury Secondary School. Yeah, you climb mango tree, all them something there. We know you really West Indian, but please just talk like that right through. So that was a stigma. And I remember people saying like, well, is he Jamaican? Is he this? He's forcing the accent, you know? And I'm like, this is what I was asked to do. And I didn't have a problem with that. You know, I had to crawl so Safari could walk. You know what I mean? So there was no Sean Kingston at this time. There was no Rihanna. Riri didn't even come out yet. This is before Rihanna. There were no Caribbean artists representing on a every week level for 3 years being seen by that many people. So when they said just talk yardie, I said, all right, then fine, here we go, here we go. But I am absolutely a proud West Indian American, and that's how that go. So my style was hip hop with patois. And I was giving them that, you know, respect due to KRS One, respect due to Duck Down, you know, respect due to Cardinal Official. Even though Cardinal Official later on, after the TV show, Cardinal Official, I linked one of our mutual friends, and I said, yo, we have to link up. I want to do a collab. And he wrote back, we're not in the Dylan thing right, you know. These are people who I had high respect for. Why? Why? So that's another confrontation that has to happen because I refuse to do it over the internet, even though this is kind of internet, but like, you know, this is us having a reasoning. What Kanye said, I'm in the room talking like it's just me and you. So that's just how that go, you know, respect to Ye. And oh, even Ye. I'm the one that told Ye, we have too much to talk about, man. This is gonna be too much. This is gonna be too much because now we just bouncing all over the place. Big up to Ye. I approached Ye and I said to Ye, listen, what you did on that Blueprint album is amazing. I need you to do the whole entire The Band album, please. Please. And he said, yo, it would be an honor. We traded numbers. Mr. Ye himself, Kanye West, we traded numbers, everything all right. This was in Chicago. It was a show that we did. 50 was there, a bunch of people. R. Kelly was there, a bunch of people back then. And I came back and I seen our manager, who I did not vote for, Mr. Phil Robinson. I voted for Violator, but majority rules, because when you're voting for management, you know what I'm saying, like that's just how it go. So I voted for Violator, and I spoke to Chris Lighty. God bless, God bless. And that never happened because the majority wanted Phil Robinson to manage the band. And I said, Phil Wagwan, and Phil was no. See with Phil, this is a lot. This is good. I think the funniest thing about this interview is how much he's going all over the place. So it's almost like we need more detail on this. But with Phil Robinson, the other day, like, all right, with Phil, Phil Robinson, he died the other day. The roach is out of here. But here's the thing. The problem with Phil was the fact that not only did I not vote for you to be our manager, but then the day he becomes our manager, he comes through to me and whispered in my ear and he said, yo, you know, it's everything all right, bad man. Now hold it down here, our thing, our people to the world. I said, this nigga from Jamaica? Now, keep in mind, when Caribbean people entered this industry at this time, there wasn't much of us. So when you see Wyclef, it's like, yo, we got a link. And even Wyclef did. Oh, Clef. Wait, Clef, Clef, we're gonna get to you, but
Man, this can go on and 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 on, man. Hey, shout out Dylan, man. He got some things going on, but bro really did disappear for like 20 years or so, and you never really hear too much about him. At least I haven't, you know what I'm saying? And I'm the one looking at this and talking about it. So I'm like, man, what's the deal with all these cats? You know what I'm saying? What they been into? But sheesh, man. Shout out him, man. Hopefully they got their stuff together. You know. Um, Yeah, check out Art of Dialogue, man. Check out the rest of this interview. He gets more into all these people, all this stuff, man. He's the Wyclef, R. Kelly. What, man? This is crazy, man. Until next time, man. Y'all take care of each other. Be safe. D Mac, Pooh Bear, long live, long live, long live D Mac, long live Pooh Bear, Inglewood, though.